After a Hall of Fame pitching career that included 8 All-Star appearances and a World Series title in 1995 with the Atlanta Braves, John Smoltz didn't hesitate when asked to put his recent qualification for the U.S. Senior Open into perspective. "It's probably the #1 thing that I've ever accomplished," Smoltz told reporters. "Everything I've been part of before has been a team thing, and I'm proud of all my accomplishments from a team aspect, but an individual role or accomplishment, I haven't had anything anywhere close to this." Smoltz, 51, earned a spot in the over 50 major field after shooting a 69 in a qualifier in Georgia and surviving a 3-for-1 playoff for the final qualifying spot. As a result, he'll walk the same fairways as the best senior golfers in the world this week at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, playing the first 2 rounds alongside Jim McGovern and Bob Ford. Smoltz was an avid golfer during his pitching career, and shared his story this week with reporters about asking permission from his manager to skip a day of spring training in order to play Augusta National alongside Tiger Woods. But despite boasting a fair amount of game, as evidenced by his ability to qualify for the tournament, Smoltz is tempering his expectations. "Somebody asked me that right away and instantaneously I said a pair of 75s, Smoltz said. "I want to obviously shoot under par, but I don't want to do something or say something that is far-fetched to where I'm not being real. So my goal is to make the cut. I've had, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 tournaments where there's been a cup, and I'm batting maybe 50%. While those expectations seem moderate, they might be viewed as lofty in the eyes of odds makers at the Westgate Las Vegas Superbook, where Smoltz is listed at 500/1 to win and 10/1 to make the cut. The over/under total for his opening round score on the par 72 layout is set at 82.5. But even if the birdies are hard to come by this week, Smoltz is still all smiles after playing his way into a major championship in a sport he once viewed as a hobby. "I don't know if there's a cloud higher than Cloud 9, but that's where I feel like I've been," Smoltz said. Article tags, John Smoltz, 2018 U.S. Senior Open. Ram doesn't want to be throwing clubs. Doesn't want to hide his emotions, either. Ram was caught on video going through a tirade at the U.S. Open last year at Erin Hills. He tried to keep his emotions in check at Shinnecock Hills, and he's not sure that brings out his best golf. Because of what happened last year in the U.S. Open, I went with the mindset of I'm going to try to behave perfectly, which means having a smile on my face the whole time, Ram said Tuesday from the French Open. And it's hard to go against who you are, to be honest. What I mean to play better is just letting myself feel my emotions, letting the emotions flow through me rather than trying to hold myself. I was more focused on trying to control myself rather than playing golf. Ram is renowned for his passion, which comes across as a nasty temper at times. He burns inwardly at mistakes, though at times he has harnessed those emotions into making birdies. "It is the last time I'm ever going to make the mistake of trying to be somebody who I'm not," he said. Phil Rogers, a 5-time PGA Tour winner and renowned instructor, died Tuesday at age 80. Rogers had battled leukemia for 15 years, according to the San Diego Union-Tribune. Rogers was born in San Diego in 1938 and was taught the game by Paul Runyon. He went on to win twice on the PGA Tour in 1962, once in 1963 and twice more in '66. He finished runner-up in the 1963 Open Championship, losing a 36-hole playoff to Bob Charles. It was one of 3 top 3 finishes in majors in a 2-year span. Rogers was a standout amateur, winning the 1958 NCAA Men's D Championship while at the University of Houston. He joined the Marine Corps, before turning professional in 1961. Jack Nicklaus, a longtime friend who credited Rogers with correcting his chipping woes and reinvigorating his game ahead of his 2-major-win season in 1980, offered his condolences on social media. "My heart hurts today after the passing of dear friend, Phil Rogers. I knew Phil for almost 65 years. Terrific ball striker. Phil reinvented my short game in 1980. Miss him already. https://t.co/vcljt2q4yfpic.twitter.com/ipuxlerate Jack Nicklaus at Jack Nicklaus, June 27, 2018. According to the Union Tribune, Rogers' wife of 33 years, Karen, was by his side at his University City home when he died. Article tags: Phil Rogers, Jack Nicklaus, Potomac, MD. Even after winning for the third time in his last 9 starts, Bubba Watson wasn't willing to say it's his best year in golf. And he's right. Watson got the year wrong, though his memory was clear after closing with a 63 to win the Travelers Championship. It was in 2014 that he won at Riviera, held off Jordan Spieth to win the Masters, and then closed out the year with a wild finish in Shanghai, where he made double bogey on the 17th hole, holed out a bunker shot for eagle on the 18th hole, and won the HSBC Champions in a playoff. The birth of our child was 2 days later, he said. Angie was in the hospital with the birth mom. I was in China at that time celebrating a victory, but celebrating a beautiful child that nobody knew about at that moment. The 3 victories in 2014 included a green jacket from Augusta National, so that raises the stakes. But there's more. Watson also had 3 runner-up finishes in 2014 at the Phoenix Open, Cadillac Championship at Doral, and the BMW Championship. He wound up second on the money list to Rory McIlroy. That's why there's still work left this year, though he won't complain about the start. Along with taking home another trophy, he immediately gave back to the Travelers Championship. Watson donated $200,000 to support the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, the primary beneficiary of the tournament this year. Founded by Paul Newman in 1988, it provides a camp experience for children facing serious illnesses. Watson has lacked consistency, however. Aside from his 3 victories, he has only 2 other top 10s, a tie for 5th at the Masters and a tie for 9th in the Mexico Championship. Dustin Johnson has 2 victories, along with 3 finishes in the top 3, 4 more in the top 10, and he has yet to miss the cut. Watson, though, is in a good place. Bubba is a tremendous person with a huge heart, and this unbelievable gesture is a demonstration of how much he cares about others, said Andy Bissett, the Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer of Travelers. Open spots. The Open added 6 more players to the field for Carnoustie from the PGA Tour and European Tour based on standings in their season points race. Patton Kizzire, Chesson Hadley and Luke List each earned a spot by being among the leading 5 players not already eligible from the top 20 in the FedEx Cup through the Travelers Championship. Matt Wallace won in Germany and joined Alexander Bjork and Jorge Campillo, who earned their places by being among the top 20 in the race to Dubai through the BMW International Open. 3 spots are available to the leading 3 players from the top 10, and ties at the French Open, provided they aren't already eligible. An even better chance exists at the Quicken Loans National, where the leading 4 players from the top 12 will get to Carnoustie. The National has a 120-man field this week, and 105 of those players are not currently exempt for the British Open. Mixed team. 3 tours in Europe are coming together for a new tournament next year in which men and women will compete on the same course for one prize. The Jordan Mixed Masters is scheduled for April 4 to 6 at Ayla Golf Club and will feature 40 players each from the European Challenge Tour, the Ladies European Tour and the Stager Tour, seniors. There also will be 1 leading amateur among men, women and seniors. All 3 tours will co-sanction the event. Members from the 3 tours will play from different yardages on the same course while competing in a single event. The field will be cut to 60 for the final round. There seems to be an appetite in golf for mixed events right now, and this is another opportunity to deliver another entertaining, yet credible, format, said Keith Pelley, Chief Executive of the European Tour. Divots. The PGA Tour began its anti-doping program 10 years ago this week at the National. It started with random urine samples, and recently added blood testing. In 10 years, only 5 players have been suspended under the program: Doug Barron, Bhavik Patel, Mark Hensby, Scott Stallings and Brad Fritsch. U.S. Open champion Brooks Koepka is off until the British Open, which is not to suggest he'll be fully rested. Koepka was headed to Boston this week with a group of 11 close friends, and then planned to return to Florida before heading to his best friend's bachelor party. "I was really hoping to get some rest, but I don't know how much that will happen," Koepka said. PGA Tour rookie Lanto Griffin would love to play well enough to build up some name recognition and start a foundation so he can give back to golf. For now, he's donating what he can. Griffin won a closest to the hole event on Tuesday of the Travelers Championship and donated the $10,000 prize to the charity of his choice, the Roanoke Valley Golf Hall of Fame Scholarship. "That was special. $10,000 can go a long way for a kid going to college," Griffin said. Stat of the week: Jordan Spieth has not finished closer than 12 shots behind the winner since the Masters. Final word: it's never that far away. Rory McIlroy on the state of his game. Ferguson is the national golf writer for the Associated Press. Article tags: 2018 Travelers Championship, Bubba Watson.